for those of you who may not know, that is Law Offices of Teresa Ford. Anyway, since, presidents get to read off teleprompters, I have a low-tech teleprompter here that I'm going to read off of. So, first, I think everybody knows I am Teresa's husband. I am also her less than stellar IT department. But importantly, I am free. So given this is 15 years, hold on a sec, I'm not talking to the mic. Okay, people, I am old officially. Got to get out the read. Nice. So, you know what? I'm doing my favorite thing for the 15-year anniversary. I'm doing public speaking or public reading, as the case may be. And what I wanted to do here is reflect upon things that Teresa brings to the table that I think has led to this 15 years of success. And thank you for indulging me. Okay. Yeah. She likes to pass around the credit, but really, let's be honest. She has, driven her business largely on her own in terms of making the connections that made it happen, or more appropriately today, she has made her own rain. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to review the 4 stages of Teresa Ford that her clients get to know as they work together, and I believe these things have been a big part of her success. And for sports fans out there, I call these the keys to the game for the LOTF success. So, key 1, personality. The first thing I think anybody notices about Teresa is her exuberant, engaging personality. The cliches really do apply in her case. Like, she lights up a room, she's never met a stranger, as we all know. I've told her, I don't know how many times, that, she makes a friend everywhere you go. Always. And me, as somebody on the other end of that introvert-extrovert spectrum, I do this as somewhat of a superpower. And this superpower has definitely helped her start the relationships that led to clients and oftentimes friends with those clients. Okay, so that was key 1. Key 2. And this is a little off color, but I will say anyway, key 2 is balls. Somebody in our household has them. It's not me. Sadly for my masculinity, but that is the case. In the world of dealing with people, my wife is not afraid to say anything that needs to be said. And I think a lot of folks here know that. What's my next point? But she's always professional about it. She's not just going off half-cocked or anything like that. Good Lord. I seriously should have used a bigger font. The one example I want to give, and this is kind of funny, I think this is really right after you started out on your own, but she was at a client site in Austin, and there was a disgruntled employee who came back, wanted to get into the offices, was being inappropriate, all that stuff. So all the tough guys are like, hey, Teresa, you go handle this guy. And this is absolutely true. She went out there, talked him down. I think he just went home. There was no incident. It was all good. And I can't say that I blame these guys because I do the same exact thing. It's like, if we've got a problem that needs taken care of at home and it's going to involve a confrontation, I'm like, baby, we need to do something about this. And when I say we, I mean you need to do something about this. Okay. So the next key, I think, that a lot of her clients would know is her loyalty. She cares very deeply about protecting the interests of her clients, and she cares about protecting those interests zealously without being concerned about the legal fees involved. I mean, she wants to make a living, like we all do, but she is sincerely committed to her clients and, representing them to the best of her ability every day. And my last key, which is at the tip of my tongue. Yeah, and this is true, and it's actually intertwined with the loyalty, I think, to some degree, because I think your clients see your loyalty and this trait at the same time. So key 4 is ethics. My wife is one of the most ethical people I know. I have often joked, like, oh, why don't you double bill and stuff? I'm kidding, of course, but she is like, she's like,
all my clients back there going, what?
But she's like, no way I would do that. And I know she wouldn't do anything unethical herself. And I know she does to the best of her ability to make sure her clients don't do anything that could get them in trouble. And going back to key 2, which is balls, she doesn't mind telling them, hey, you can't do that. And if it takes an argument, she is 100% willing to, go to the mat and say, you need to protect yourself by listening to me. So, anyway, those are not your only, attributes you bring to your business, but there's some good ones. And so, baby, I'm very proud of you, and congratulations on 15 years of success. So now, I believe the actual public speaker is going to come up and entertain you guys.
That is going to be a tough act to follow. And I'm going to trip on the mic stand, which will be hilarious. Okay, so look, here's what we're going to... Oh, this is everything that Robbie drinks while he's playing. We got some coffee, got some water. Okay, that's kind of interesting. This is going to stay right here. That's what it's going to do. I can't break this. It belongs to him. All right. There we go. Okay, I have 6 inches. Okay. All right, this is horrible. Thank you to my amazing husband, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. Most importantly, welcome to all of you, and thank you to all of you for being part of this evening. I had a client who shall remain nameless, Dr. Mike Neal, who's sitting right back over there, who said to me when he got here, he said, look, I'm guessing, and this is the first time that the Neals have been able to make it all the way from Tennessee. Thank you very much. Along with their very good friends, Paul and Susan Massa, also from Tennessee. And the beautiful Liz Neal, who she and I can rip up New Orleans shopping, and we proved it at Academy, didn't we? Just shopping. That's where Spencer got his seersucker coat. That is exactly right. Dr. Neal came up to me and he said, so am I right that once you get the invite, unless you really screw up, you get to come back every year? And I said, why, yes, you do. And I hope that you do. It is incomprehensible to me that I am at 15 years of doing something I love so much, for people I love so much. I'm the luckiest person in the world. It's just that simple. I don't know why. It's not fair. I totally get that. Life's not fair. Sorry. Jessica, who is an incredible human being, and she's kind of running things here at JM for us tonight, said, I was driving over, my boyfriend was driving me over, and he said, well, what kind of a party is it? And she said, well, it's an anniversary party for the law firm. And he said, oh, well, what anniversary? And she said, the 50th. Which makes me 87. You're really good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I kind of felt good about that. Thank you. 15 years feels as big as 50 to me. When Shonda and I started, and I stole her from Sulzer Orthopedics, by the way. Yeah, I had to go deal with that guy, but then I was like, oh, and I'd like to take that paralegal, please, if that's all right. I remember telling her and telling Sean, who was also there at the time, and Sean, I don't know where you are, but I know you're here. There you are, always in the back of the class. And I think it's just because Sean is like my husband. She's like, a lot of people here, I just want to sit in the back and listen to Teresa talk forever, but it's going to happen. But I remember when we started, I said, and even to Spencer, I said, if I can make it to 7 years, I'm going to feel like I've succeeded. I'm going to feel as if I put in the time. I'll have a client list by then, and then if it all goes to hell in a handbasket, I can at least say I made it to 7 years. And I stand here saying that, and I think that was 8 years ago. Leah, nice job, buddy. Nice job. Okay. Thanks, Courtney. That is awesome. That was fantastic. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was Paul, man.
Yeah. Paul, knock it off. You're not coming back next year to keep that.
He's loving the wine.
Okay. And, I have to say, that kind of thing brings me so much joy. My dog is here, right? You can't take yourself too seriously in this or any other business. But what I do take seriously are the people sitting at that table. And I'm extremely honored to have clients here, especially the clients who are here. And I won't call you out by name except for Dr. Mike Neal, Calvin Lynn, and Paul Massa. And by the way, Calvin Lynn is all the way from Irvine, California, so it's not like he drove up here from Woodinville. Okay, I guess we are in Woodinville. Whatever. It's an honor. It's a big responsibility. It's an honor, and it brings me joy every single day. Do I have bad days? Of course I have bad days. Do I miss deadlines? I'm missing one right now. There's a doctor in Beverly Hills who's very, very pissed at me. And I just didn't answer his text. Just didn't answer it. Yeah. Probably get sued for that. But, there are days.
Who will use?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you know it. Evolution me. Thank you. It is such a big deal to get to do what I do. So even on the days when it isn't a ton of fun, it's still fun. It's still good. And I consider myself very fortunate to have that kind of a life. I want to say thank you to a handful of people, and it won't be all of you, and thank God, right? A big thank you to all of you. A very special thank you to Jennifer Smith, who not only has my back as my bestie, but she has my back at work. She actually is Calvin's right-hand woman, and Jen and I work together quite a bit.
I'll fire for you, girl.
I know you would. I know you would. I know you would. And so it's a joy to get to work with her, and then also to have her here for the weekend. And I haven't wanted for a thing. And if you think my makeup looks good, boom, shakalaka, right over there. Yeah. And if you think I look slutty, she had nothing to do with it. I want to say a weird thank you to Shonda Williams. Shonda and I started together back in the day, and Shonda went on to do bigger and better things. And Shonda just recently received her master's degree in communication sciences and disorders. She and her husband Blake are raising 2 beautiful children. And I will tell you that Shonda and Dwight sent me a lovely gift in the mail, and the girls did cards for us. And Chloe, the younger girl, drew a dog and a cat, which makes perfect sense because we have 2 dogs and a cat. Her older daughter, Paige, drew a wine bottle.
Just one?
Yeah. Fair question. That was good. Just one, but accompanied by a bunch of grapes, so I knew where wine came from. And a strawberry, which harkens back to Boone's Farm back in high school. So I really think Paige nailed it. Nailed it! So thank you to Shonda for being with me in the beginning, but also doing all this amazing stuff with your life. You're just an extraordinary human being, and I'm very happy you're here, all the way from Houston, Texas. So many people to thank, and I promised I wouldn't do it. Former colleagues, I'm looking at them. I'm looking at Sean in the back, and Sean Daniels has been with me also since just about the very beginning. And when I closed the Houston office, she was not happy with me at all, and it made me feel good that she had a job she liked. It made me feel as if we worked well together and we were successful, and I liked that. Also, Sean Amati, who was my office manager here in Kirkland. Apparently, if you want to work with me, your name has to be Sean. Shonda is close enough, but Sean will really help you get the job. Sean Amati ran my office for 3 years and has also gone on to do bigger and better things. And the fact that you and your beautiful wife, Jamie, are here tonight says to me that we had something really good that has lasted. Also from Houston, Texas, Jane Bryant, who hates to be singled out, so I'm not going to point her out. If you don't know her, I'm not going to point her out. She's incognito. You'll know.
Hey, thank you.
Well done, my friend. Well done. A group of people who I will not name by name because they will get mad at me, but part of my care team from the breast cancer days. The breast cancer days, it sounds like a sitcom. It was not a sitcom. It's kind of a sitcom. You know who you are. You know why you matter to me. And somebody that I do want to single out, my reconstructive surgeon is here, and that sounds scary probably, but I have to tell you, you don't stand in front of a room full of people with, a sort of V-neck sausage casing dress and feel good about yourself unless someone has taken such good care of you and gotten you through one of the worst things that you've ever had to face in your life and make you feel like you can walk out in public like this. So, Dr. Wandra Miles, wherever you are with my dog, I love you and I appreciate it. If I've missed you, it's because I know you don't want to keep hearing me talk. I do have to say Penny Steele's here. She's my pre-op nurse. She's hilarious. She's like the best nurse in the world, and we would laugh, we would piss off all the other patients pre-op. I'd be like, oh my God, you're so funny. She'd be like, you're so funny. And people would be like, shut up, I'm having surgery. And it's like, yeah, sorry about that. And she and Dr. Miles taught me how to tell the anesthesiologist that I was feeling anxious, so I would get Versed. Oh my God. Versed. I'm feeling a little anxious right now. Dr. Miles got that script pad. If I haven't mentioned you, it doesn't mean that you're any less important than any of the people that I just mentioned. And your being here says that very loudly. I can't not thank you. I know you don't like accolades, you don't like praise, but I can't not do that. You can say passing along credit, you can say, I don't care what you say. I could not have done this without you. I could not have done this without you believing in me for starters. I couldn't have done it without you actually helping me all the time. And I couldn't have done it without you acknowledging in your own heart and mind how much it meant to me. It was as important to you because it was so important to me. And that's, man, I'm just, again, I'll end with what I started with. Oh God, the look of relief on so many faces when I said and. Oh my God. It's like a wave of happiness. Oh God, she's going to be done. And I'm going to sing next, you MS. I'm so glad this is being videoed. Oops. I am the luckiest person on the earth. And you have everything to do with that. It is a binding legal contract. You have now served your own 15 years. It's not worth getting out now. So you just stay right where you are. I love you. And I love all of you. Thank you so much. I expect more eating and drinking, but what comes first, because you know I do this to you every year, I'm gonna sing, because I like to sing. But we got a twist this year. Guess who's gonna play while I sing?
Bishop.
Bishop. Spencer Bishop is going to accompany me with a song he wrote. Right? What? And then, if you get him drunk enough later, he will play for you on his ukulele, which is also in the car, a song that he wrote for me when we were in Europe this summer. And it's a song about our journey together. The cruise was a bucket list thing when I got sick, and it's a song about our journey, and it's stunningly beautiful. Get him drunk and have him play for you later. For now, come on up and let's do our song.